Hey guys! So I got a lot of positive feedback, especially on Tumblr, about my childhood paranormal stories video, and I decided I was going to make another video, only this time talking about friends' houses and my new houses. So I'm kind of like teenager in high school kind of deal with these stories. Sorry, I'm so tired today. Oh my god. So I'm just gonna get started. So hopefully this video isn't as long as my previous one. So I'm going to start with my new house that my parents moved down into. It was built on battlefield grounds in Virginia, if that says anything. And the first story that I want to share is when we first moved in, we heard a lot of weird stuff going on, especially up in this loft area that we had. A lot of things would move. We'd hear whispering, we'd hear talking, laughing, footsteps, just weird stuff, and whenever we'd go up there, there'd be no one up there, or like it all stopped. So that was the first kind of like odd thing. Another thing, my mom said that she saw a woman walk across her bedroom door. So that was another thing. And followed by that, I heard it and my mother heard it. We heard a woman talking, and I thought it was my mom. I was like, "What, Mom?" And it wasn't her. Like, we did not know where this woman's voice came from, and I was all by myself in the house. So that was pretty creepy. The more freaky stuff happened a little after a few months. I started dating this guy named Travis. I'm still with him. And he would even say he'd hear stuff. He thought I was calling him when I never did. You know, that kind of things. And one of the creepiest things happened was, I should probably save this story for last because it's super creepy. So I'm going to tell the first story. We were all outside. It was me, my boyfriend, my two other friends, and I think my sister. So there was 5 of us outside playing the game Manhunt. And if you don't know what it is, it's basically like a nighttime version of tag. Like, you gotta hide and try to make it to the base, and people gotta catch you. So me and my one friend were like hiding behind this fence, and we heard, I think my sister was already captured, and then my boyfriend and his friend were the hunters, and they were looking for us. And our backyard was pretty big. So we're hiding behind this fence, like, okay, I don't see them anywhere. Let's just, make a run for it. They know we're planning it out. And we hear, all of a sudden, we see someone in front of the fence. Like, you could just peek through, and there was a shadow right there. And I'm like, oh, crap. They found us. And I was like, are you going to move? Like, kind of taunting them to see if they would chase me and then get her. And they didn't move. I was like, hello, like, come on, come and get us. So what we decided to do, because the fence is here, it was about this long, the person was standing here, and then we were standing here, so we both like ran around the fence to meet up, and no one was there. So we like freaked out and ran to the base, and they're like, oh damn, like, how did you get us there so fast? We were on the front of the house, and we're like, weren't you just in front of the fence? And they were like, no, we weren't even near the fence. So we swear we saw someone standing near the fence. Like, I'm getting cold chills right now thinking about it. That was a weird experience. The second one that's just, so creepy, because it involves physical contact, and that's really uncomfortable for me, especially violent contact. My boyfriend came over, and during that entire day, just weird stuff was happening. Even he said it was just off that day. Like, the energy was just weird. And things were just getting thrown. We kept hearing, like, whispers, and just all day, it just kept happening, and things were being thrown or moved. Like, deliberately, like, loudly, too, like, bang! Not just subtle, it was just legit stuff being thrown out of anger. And I was getting scared. My mom came home, I've been telling her what was happening all day, and she's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, I wonder what's going on. And during the night, like, it was around 9:30, my boyfriend was getting ready to leave. He's like, well, have a good night. I was like, I'm really scared, please don't leave. I was like, your stuff's up in the loft, let's go get it. And we went upstairs, and we were hearing, like, just really quiet whispers, but we didn't know where they were coming from. I was like, okay, let's just get your stuff. And I felt my hair being tugged, like, all of a sudden, like that. Like, it literally jerked my head back, and I jumped, and I just, like, it scared me so bad I started tearing up. I was like, oh my god, please don't leave. This is so scary. I don't like this. He's like, it's okay, I was like, will you just say a prayer with me really quick so I can go comfortable? Because I'm a spiritual person. I do believe, in the power of prayer and everything. And I just wanted to say something just to make me feel better. And So we started praying, and I was like, just say a prayer with me. And after I said that, something goes, like a creepy laugh. And not to be funny, but it sounded kind of like, you know, if Sheldon Cooper off Big Bang does, you know, laugh. That's kind of what it sounded like, only like 10 times creepier. Like, it was like, so that freaked me out anymore. So we started hugging and we started praying. And I was like, okay, I can feel better now. And he's like, okay, I'm going to leave now. You know, have a good night, be safe. After he said that, I hear, like, this punching sound. And as I heard that, he keels over and clutches his stomach. So I start freaking out, and I'm like, oh my god, like, are you okay? What happened? And he's winded, and he's like, like, you know, he's winded, and he's clenched over, so I start screaming for my mom. I bring him downstairs, and I was like, what happened? I was like, something hit him up there. So she goes up there to investigate, and I keep asking him, like, are you okay? Are you okay? And he's sitting on the couch hunched over, and all I do is put my hand near where he got hit, and I'm not even kidding, this freaked me out so bad. His eyes suddenly rolled into the back of his head, and he just, like, started kind of, like, shaking, just not like this, but it was just minor shaking, and he just wouldn't respond to me. So I started freaking out. I thought he had a seizure, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? What happened? What happened? Like, what can I do? And I started screaming for my mom again, and he just snapped out. He's like, I've been telling you I'm fine. I was like, no, you didn't. You, like, turned demonic or something. Like, his eyes just rolled in the back of the head. Ugh. He's like, no, it didn't. Like, he had no memory of this. He's just that I kept screaming, are you okay? And he said that he kept answering, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. So that was just, ugh. That was like the worst night ever. It was so scary. None of us got to bed until like 5:30 that morning because it was just horrible. So that was definitely one of the scariest experiences, just because of the physical contact, like pulling my hair and him getting punched in the stomach is just horrifying to me. That's not cool. Like, that's stuff I don't like in the paranormal experience. Another, not in my house, but a friend's house, I had a serious issue emotionally. I was emotionally stressed at this house. It was, I don't want to name names because, you know, it's not my place, but it was her boyfriend Travis, and I. And we were all over her house, and we were getting ready to leave around 11:30, and she's like, oh, I want to show you something before you leave. And she went upstairs, and we just hear her scream. And we all run upstairs, and she's like, I swear there was someone standing in my mom's bedroom. And it was just the four of us, because we were having like a kind of like small hangout party where our parents were out. I'm sorry, my eyes are bothering me again. Allergies are the worst, people. And we're like, there's nothing here, are you okay? And she's like, no, someone was definitely there, I know it. And she's crying, like, she's terrified, she's shaking and like clutching her boyfriend's arm, and she was just so scared. And her boyfriend was like, okay, well guys, why don't you go, I'm gonna stay here and like calm her down. And so we're like, okay, we'll have a good night. We go outside, get in the car, and for some reason I just felt obligated to look up on the second story. So I look up into one of the windows, and there's a man, definitely not her boyfriend's stature at all, because he's kind of like smaller and scrawnier and stuff. This man, huge, standing in the window just staring at the car. And I was the one driving, and I was getting really freaked out. I was like, okay, like, I was like, I'm not gonna like go back in and tell them, because they checked the entire house before we left. We checked like every single closet, we checked every single cabinet, like in case someone was there. There was definitely no way. We all each went in a separate room, like freaking Scooby-Doo gang to this crap, and like checked this house. And I was like, oh, that's just weird. So we backed up, and we were driving down this road, and all of a sudden I felt something just like, like just this weird chill go down my back, and I started like having this flash attack, and I started freaking out, like a panic attack. And like Travis was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I don't remember after this until I was pulled over crying. But Travis said when we were driving, he was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And tried touching my shoulder. I said, stop touching me. Stop touching me. And he's like, what? I'm just trying to... And I said, stop touching me. And that's when I pulled over. And I don't remember saying that. I don't remember him touching me. And all I remember is feeling this cold chill down my back, flashing, and then just being pulled over. And I was just like, we have to get off this road. We have to get off this road right now. and I just floored it. Like, I went like 70 down this road, and I turned off the road, and everything was fine. The chill was gone, the flashing was gone, whatever the heck it was gone after I got off that road. I'm never going back to that house again. It was just, oh, it was so weird. It was so creepy, and I just didn't like knowing that I did stuff when I didn't. Another story from a friend's house was, we were all watching the movie, and I think it was Insidious, and, like, you know, it's fine, like, it's horror movies, whatever, but he lives kind of out in the wilderness, and we were walking from the car to his basement, and I was like, there's something definitely watching us, like, and it's probably a wild animal, you know, don't think anything of it, and I heard something whisper, yeah, right. Yeah, right. And I turned over to the bush, and I was like, did you hear that? And Travis was like, what? I was like, someone just whispered from the bush, yeah, right. I said, I'm not going crazy. And I thought it was our friend messing with us, so I was like, very funny, you know, come on, get out of the bush, blah, blah, blah. And no one was in there. They were both inside the house already eating popcorn, putting the movie, and I was like, you know, it's late at night, I'm probably freaking myself out, etc. And while we're watching the movie, I had to keep going like this. Like, you know, just paranoid, I just keep looking over my shoulder. And all of a sudden, I just felt like this cloud, like I just felt so uncomfortable in this house. In the middle of the movie, I was like, can we please leave? And our friend was like, why, are you okay? I said, I don't know, I just feel very, very freaked out right now. And I wasn't even paying attention to the movie. I just kind of was staring at the floor because I was so uncomfortable. And they're like, oh, it's probably just the movie messing with you. I said, no, like, I really need to leave. I literally ran to the car, and we just flew out of there. And that experience wasn't as horrifying as the one at my other friend's house, but it definitely was creepy. I just don't like feeling like that. Like feeling bad stuff. Bless you. Sorry, that's my cat. But I think of all the stories I'm going to share, because I don't want to keep this video too long. But thank you all for listening, and like I said in my first video, if these stories aren't for you or you don't believe them, that's totally fine. You don't have to watch these. But this is for people who are interested. And again, I'm sorry for my horrible talking and moving my hands and fixing my hair or whatever. It's like, I'm still new at this. But thank you all for listening, and make sure you check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/clowns of crime. Alright, thank you all. Bye.